Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Encased. We just took care of helping Martin Kingsley with the appointment of a new head of surveillance. Now we need to return to Nakamura.
Floor level -1. Lobby. Your life will be forfeit.
And we're running a few errands for the new committee in order to secure funding for the expedition. And one of the errands was actually destroying a bunch of selectrons, which we didn't do. We just printed out the form of disposal and returned that to Nakamura. Maybe we can sell these electrons. Confiscated selectrons box. Maybe this guy is interested in them.
Greetings.
No, but he mentions a Lindbergh. So next time we're in MAGELLAN station, try to find Lindbergh. For now, let's go to the council. Talk to Nakamura.
When the dome was found, a small research.
Nakamura turns away from the window.
I do hope you've come for a reason.
We've chosen a new surveillance service head.
The chairwoman nods graciously.
Kingsley already told me you choose Kapoor, and he agrees with your decision. I hope to see significant improvement in the quality of our video surveillance.
Kimiko pulls the keyboard closer and presses a couple of keys.
There. The logistics department will issue the resources for your expedition. Go make Henrietta's day.
Alright, excellent. So funding secured. All that remains is transportation. We obtained the necessary resources to organize an expedition. For the transportation, we are dependent on PHALANX or White Lines Caravan Company. At the headquarters of the White Lines Caravan Company, there is a truck. It requires a key. Now that we have the funding, maybe this guy will help us.
And I was starting to get bored.
Right. What is it you want? Come to place an order. Ship something. Well, actually we do. We don't want to hear your jokes. We're here on business. First things first, for me business is the first of the first. But no option to hire him or hire his trucks. What can you tell us about the company? Yeah, what he told us before. That's great.
Come back again.
But how do we actually get to hire your company? Well, it's not stealing apparently, but, well, we're looking for a key. New Kaplan is a guard. Wow, you're keeping me here. Someone could be hijacking our cars. Don't interrupt my patrol. So that doesn't really help us. And in order to use this,
What are you doing? Stop.
we need to get permission or something. What do you want? You drop by to siphon some gas, right? Better not try it. Now we drop by to do some business with the white caravan company, but apparently that's not possible. Well, maybe back to Henrietta. We can inform her of the fact that we did most of the stuff needed for the expedition. Now it's just a matter of getting the transportation in order.
Russo is nibbling the end of her pen and studying some papers.
I'm planning an experiment. If you want my attention, speak up.
Right, so you have questions about some of the tasks, I guess.
Russo nods to show she's listening.
Where can we procure the heavy trucks?
Russo points at her communicator screen.
At the Phalanx camp. They have the kind of vehicles we need, and Zemeckis' men are the only ones who can do the maintenance. They've got a warehouse full of everything.
Well, alright then. Back to the Phalanx camp it is, I guess.
Russo fakes a yawn.
All right, come on, Captain Buzzkill. Spit it out.
And in order to get Phalanx to cooperate, we have to help him with the election in Carmine Heights, where he is running for mayor. Zemeckis, that is. We don't really want to help him. But I don't really see another option. Could maybe wait until 6 PM. There will be debate for the election in JUNKTOWN. Debate should start at 6 PM. Well, actually yesterday or the day before, but we
Show
missed,
these mothers how real policy gets made.
we missed that.
You're one of us and we're not gonna forget it. Hello again.
Let's discuss the mayoral election.
Sheriff for mayor! Sheriff for mayor! Huh? You again.
You know who's the best candidate? You do. It's our Kurt.
Black wingers for Kurt! Black wingers for Kurt!
Did we miss the debate? I guess so.
Welcome back.
Let's talk about the election. So
It was nice chatting.
campaign poster with your name on it. Well, we're here for the debate. People of JUNKTOWN, but apparently the debates were on another day. Nothing we can do here. We are still running apparently, but missed the debate. That may have, well, the quest still has the final entry. You decided to enter the election race and compete with Bethany and Court for the mayor's office. It's not a failed quest yet. So for now we'll leave it be, I guess, and head for the Phalanx camp. Well, first let's maybe make a save. And head for the Phalanx base. You're driving along a deserted road through the haze of red dust hanging in the air. Looking closely, you notice some strange movement nearby. When you slow down and park your car at a safe distance, you are pondering what to do. Well, first we will do some recon. And we see a bunch of wild wolpers. Let's get in the car and drive away immediately. Trying not to make noise or attract attention, you return to the car and quietly drive away. Floats gently over the road, swaying slightly on bumps. You turn the steering wheel, looking around now and then. And we notice something interesting in the distance. Stop and take a closer look. You pull over to the side of the road. Not far from the road there's a shallow lowland overgrown with thorny bushes. That's where you leave your car. Once back on the road, you head out into the desert, hoping you haven't missed anything important. You spy a tall butte rising all along from the sand. This stone pencil in the middle of the otherwise featureless barrens looks rather out of place. Well, let's take a closer look. You can't say for sure whether the rock surface is man-made, but it's too smooth to be natural. A treacherously narrow path spiraling around the outside confirms that this outcrop has been worked somehow. The path goes almost to the top. Straining your eyes upward, you spot a flat cut near the summit. There appears to be a landing up there. To you it suggests a place of worship, dedicated to the sun. Maybe you should wait until morning. Science, let's do science. The first beams of dawn reveal a barely visible symbol upon the cliff face. Your supposition proved correct. Go ahead. It's an uncomfortable trek up the rock face. Not only is the path rather narrow, it shrinks even further here and there. Almost to the point of vanishing altogether, you have to tread very carefully and mind your balance at every step. Eventually you arrive at an unsettlingly wide gap in the path. You have to make a decision. Forget the risk. Just get to the other side somehow. Well, let's use guts, jump. Years of training pay off. You coil yourself up like a spring and just a few brief infinities in the open air. A few brief infinities, alright then. As you land safely on the other side, from that point on, your luck holds. The rock beneath your feet is wide and stable enough to comfortably continue. The summit is close now, just a few more steps. You're standing on a flat, sand-dusted landing. You have a splendid view of the Barrens from here. The dawn light also reveals a semicircle carved into the stone wall, delimiting the landing on one side. There's a horizontal line underneath. The meaning of this image is a mystery. If it represents the sun topping the horizon, would your sun worshipping hypothesis be correct, or does it possibly represent the dome? But that only raises even more questions, riddles upon riddles. Take a closer look at the picture and touch the wall underneath it. Your instincts and keen eyes deliver once again. Tracing the horizontal line, your fingertips detect a slightly raised square of stone. You push down on it and a small section of wall recedes into the surface. A small heavy object falls from the cavity into your hand. You are standing on a flat sand-dusted landing. You have a splendid view of the Barrens from here. Right, there's the semicircle carved in a stone wall again, and the horizontal line underneath. Riddles upon riddles. We already found the secret spot. Stir the sand with your foot just in case. You dig at the sand with your toe of your shoe and immediately a polished white bone emerges from a cavity in the rock. And it's not alone. Remains animal, human and other follow. Other, alright. Every layer of shifted sand revealing more bones. Some are so strange it's impossible to even guess at the creature they once belonged to. It looks like you have uncovered an ancient hecatomb, a mass sacrifice, but to whom or what? Yeah, the horizontal line, okay. Descend the cliff and go on your way. So we found a few bones and something heavy. Apparently. Relic from the cliff stash. It reminds us of a small protractor. It glows dimly when it comes in contact with blood, but it doesn't have anything useful to offer. That's strange. Well, I guess we can sell it. Let's maybe eat something. A champion ready meal. Get some water from the car. Maybe use an anagon. Drink some coffee. We are allowed to use this truck. Can actually take it. Alright, keep that in mind. Let's talk to Zemeckis. About the election in Carmine Heights. Was trying to avoid this, but the White Lines Caravan Company does not cooperate. Where is his office? Right.
Hieronymus smiles welcomingly.
You are my guest, so please take your time. Drink some tea with Mr. Christ and me. Tell us something about yourself. Relax.
Alright. Give him the most accurate data.
The survey you prepared would honor any statistician. You spoke to the majority of Carmine Heights dwellers, which means your results are highly reliable. Hieronymus scrupulously reviews every page.
Curious. Curious. A certain dynamic compared to the previous results can be seen. Good job indeed.
He puts your report aside and approaches you, studying your face, badge, and uniform curiously. The Phalanx leader returns to his place, watching you with a constant sly smirk.
Do you like magic tricks? Tricks are interesting phenomena. They're interesting things hidden inside other interesting things. The spectator watches the show, while I watch the way the show is made. In the end, I learn more about the trick than the one who believes the magic behind it. Tell me, why does an illusionist need an assistant? Why does a magician need a clumsy apprentice? I'll tell you why. The assistant makes insignificant things look significant. Showing us an empty hut, he draws everyone's attention away from where the rabbit really is to where it is not.
Zemeckis gives you a victorious look. His gaze moves to the golden Christ sitting in the next chair.
They say God's son rose up, but nobody asks the question how. They only discuss the fact of it. His disciples took the body off the cross and buried it. Can one actually be certain he was dead? Couldn't he simply have walked out of his tomb on the third day?
Zemeckis rolls the cup between his hands and takes a sip.
I got carried away, sorry. The idea is that we often receive much more valuable information alongside a more commonplace fact. But let's return to our business.
Right. Smart guy, I guess.
Hieronymus presses a couple of buttons on the nearest terminal, then extracts a floppy disk from a drive.
Now I need the full database of new committee employees. It's kept on one of the Minerva system mainframes. Insert this floppy disk into it. My specialists claim the program will launch on its own and copy the needed files. Once you procure this data for me, I'll provide you a truck immediately.
He gives you a device similar to a floppy disk.
Right, so more spying needed. And it appears as though we have no choice what to do with. Which is not really what I want, but can try to talk to the White Lines Caravan Company once again, maybe. Or we can just take the truck parked at the entrance of the PHALANX base. Maybe that is enough. Well, let's maybe make a save first. Probably won't be able to sit in two cars at the same time. You have to choose between your old car and this one. Well, this one is better. Let's take it. Did our stuff transfer? It did. Alright. Does this mean we have transportation? Maybe. Radio loses the signal, but immediately picks up another, as if you passed into the broadcast radius of a different station. The lively rock and roll jingle is replaced by the equally cheerful voice of the host, Jolly Roger. By the way, how are things in the committee? Let's have a look. A little bird told me that all-out surveillance will soon be introduced. The management is spending an enormous amount of funds installing new cameras and optimizing computer systems. All this, of course, under the guise of combating espionage by illegal groups like the Phalanx, but you and I know the real reasons: power, control, which is ironic given the inefficiency and corruption of the new committee. Them silvers and blacks ain't gonna fight themselves, right? Fighting your own citizens is obviously far more attractive in terms of career prospects and power gain. And that was Jolly Roger, a Blitz episode. Stay tuned. Well, let's go to JUNKTOWN first.
Come on in.
Do we actually have a update on the quest? To get funding. It appears as there's nothing more to do. You will need to organize an expedition to the ruins of the Concord. Special heavy vehicles will be provided by Phalanx for the White Line Caravan Company, while we have a special heavy vehicle ourselves now. This is the spy mission. So something did change in the quest log. It appears. Does Henrietta have an update?
Russo is nibbling the end of her pen and studying some papers.
I'm planning an experiment. If you want my attention, speak up.
Not really. That's kind of strange. So I guess we have no choice but to do the by mission. But that's something for the next episode though. For now I'll make a cut here. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.